as you get older, your body starts to complain a lot more. So looking at this, it obviously wasn't very happy, was it? Hello everyone. So if you watch my channel regularly, many of you will know that I've been a carpenter pretty much since I left school in the mid to late 80s. So much has changed in that time, and I've talked about some of the changes in some of the videos I've done. I have adapted like most of us, old timers now, I suppose. I'm in my mid-50s now, so you know, well into my career, nearly 40 years. I have adapted to most things, and most things have been sort of welcome, and I'm talking specifically about things that save labour. You know, we've moved. When I first started, everything was pretty much hand tools, and now pretty much everything is power tools. Obviously much easier on the body, much quicker, potentially more accurate, and obviously saves a lot of time. I've upgraded on a lot of stuff, obviously into the sort of late 80s, early 90s. Lots of power tools are starting to become more affordable, which I've bought. Anyway, that is not what I'm talking about. I've covered that in other videos. One of the things, the last things that I've sort of not neglected, but I've kind of just carried on sort of habitually, really, has been my sawhorses. And I do get lots of comments from guys in my videos basically saying, I'll show me making something or doing something, and I'm leant over my old sawhorses. And I regularly get comments from people saying, oh, Dale boy, watch out for your back. And the fact of the matter is, when you're younger, your body can take up the strain from not doing things as effectively as you could do. But as you get older, your body starts to complain a lot more. So to that end, basically what I've done is, it's almost like the final upgrade, is I've upgraded my sawhorses, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the ones I've gone for, but also just quickly going to show you, it's fairly logical, but I'm going to show you how and why my original sawhorses, or the original carpenter sawhorses, were the sort of size and height they were. So I'll quickly set them up and I'll show you, and it's all around, as I said earlier, it's all about when we first started, or traditionally, most of our carpentry work, ripping things down, cutting things, planing things, was all done on these sawhorses. So I'll flip the camera around, I'll set them up, and I'll quickly show you why the sawhorses are the height they are. Right, so here they are, my old faithfuls. These are 20 years old, they've got to be, but these were the sort of standard carpenters' sawhorses. You know, we basically made them as an apprentice. They're fairly simple, but super strong and super resilient. We put a bit of door lining material on top as sort of sacrificial. As you can see, that's had its end cut off. But I'll just quickly show you, before I show you what stools I've gone for, what sawhorses I've gone for, I'll basically show you. It's no accident that these are about 2 foot high, because basically you have to spend most of your time, again, this is historically, you know, back in the old days, everything was done by hand. So if you see, if they were any higher, these stools are about knee height. So basically you can put your knee on the material to clamp it down. If these are any higher, you'd obviously struggle to put your knee on it. And also, if they're any higher, you'd have to be much higher when you're cutting. Also, and it's no accident, when you think, maybe a lot of guys don't think about why saws are sort of between 20 and 22 inches. There's some slightly longer, obviously you can put slightly shorter ones. But the saw length is limited, and there's a reason for that. It's basically all down to human anatomy, and that's how this sort of cutting system worked for many, many years before power tools became prevalent. So if you see, and again, for some of the younger carpenters here, you won't know what I'm talking about here, but when I was younger, when I first started, if we wanted to rip 3/4 inch ply down into, say, 200mm strips, we literally did it on a pair of stools by hand. And I remember the soul destroying. Even sometimes you get inch plywood or 3/4 inch 18mm marine ply, and you had to cut that into 100mm strips or 200mm strips, especially if we were like fireproofing beams. It was soul destroying. But anyway, that's by the by. If you just quickly see, you can see that the stool being this high means that you can put the material on the stool, you can put your knee on it, and then more importantly, if you see the stroke length, and this is why a saw is only about sort of 20, 22 inches, the maximum sort of length of stroke an average man can get is about 22 inches. So if you see there, look, I'm sort of full extension, I've got, and then when I'm back up here, I'm fully pulled out. So you can see that is pretty much why the stool's the height it is, the saw's the length it is. So just a little tiny sort of maybe history lesson into why, you know, these stalls were this height. And I've got no excuse, I've just maybe got a bit stuck in my ways. But anyway, the time has come, and as you can see, you know, and lots of you have commented on my videos that, you know, I'm building things on a set of stalls. I put a sheet of MDF or something, I might be building some steps, and I'm bent right over, and it is really, really uncomfortable. So, lots and lots of, I tell you what, I want to sit down on, yes. What there is in the market now, and has been for a long time, is lots and lots of these sort of pop-up or quick-set stalls, folding sawhorses, and the market's developed really well with them. There's lots to choose from. Now I've got a buddy that I do some kitchen fitting work for, and he's got a set of, I think they're Stanley, they've got a plastic top, and they fold out, and they clip together, lovely, they don't take up much space on the van. So I was going to get a set of those, but because I do more than just inside work, I do outside work, I perhaps wanted something that's a little bit more robust, and basically I found some which are a good price, and they take considerably more weight. So I've bit the bullet, and I've gone and bought myself a pair. Now they're absolutely fantastic. I'm going to talk you through it, but it wasn't actually plain sailing. So I'll get them out and I'll show you, and you'll be able to see straight away the problem that I've encountered. So here they are. These are the ones I went for. The TOUGHBUILT Sawhorse job site table. These are the C550. Now, I don't know if this offer's still on at the time of making this video, but I got these from Wix, it's a retailer here in the UK. £99, reduced down to £77. This was for a pair, and I've got a Wix trade card which got me another 10% off. So you're talking less than 70 quid for a pair of these. So there is other ones about, as I said, Bora, the guys that do the centipede, they do a lovely set, that a quick set. You literally just push a button and the bottom drops out. Not that worried, they're quite a bit more money. I'm not that worried about having it quick set. These aren't the end of the world to undo. You have, I'll turn it this way, look. You have a couple of buttons. It says, here you can see that. So open first. It's fairly simple, to be honest. Phone's ringing. Right, sorry, apologies for that. Yeah, it's fairly simple. You just press that button and lift the legs out, and they unfold. There we go, that's one. Spacey on the bench, and then same on, where is it, this side? Yep. Just lift them up like that. That's it, they're locked in place. These ones are nice because I mean, you can see here, they've got these sort of feet that spread out. So the next version down from this doesn't have these sort of lugs on the end to put 4x2s in, which I'm actually not that bothered about. It doesn't have the feet either, so let's just put that up. There we go, I'll put it around the right way. So, there, that's set up, fairly easy. What I like about these, look, as you can see here, is they take a lot of weight. 498 kilos, 998 kilos for a pair. So super sturdy, really happy with them. They've got this sort of little board. I haven't pulled them down, but you could stand a board on the side. Anyway, I'm not particularly bothered about that. Not particularly bothered about this either. I know they say you put a 4x2 in each side, and then you can put a sheet down to make a table, but basically that means that if you're mobile like I am, you've got to carry a massive great sheet of ply around or something, which is not brilliant. So I'm not even sure that I might cut these off. But anyway, so I got them on site. Everything was going really, really well. And what I did think about, a bit like these ones here, is, and they have got holes, I will actually show you. They have actually put holes in the top here so that you can fix a sacrificial strip on. So I thought, no worries, but I was at work, so I took them to work. We're doing a massive job. Again, apologies I've not been able to film it. There's so much stuff I've not been able to film lately, just for one reason or another, but I can't film all our jobs. So I thought what I'll do is I'll get some timber and put some sacrificial tops on those, but I never really got round to it, went straight to work. Anyway, we're on the job, and it's a big, massive stud work job I'm doing, making some small industrial units. So each stud work wall is 15 metres long. It's 3.6 metres high at one end, 3 metres high at the other. There's 37 studs in it, 400 centres. But on one of these walls got a big opening in it, 4.5 or 5 metre opening. And so what we've put in it is a 5.2 metre bit of steel. Now this steel is 100 millimetres by 250 millimetres. And it's, I think they call it 60 gauge. So basically it weighs 60 kilos per metre. So it's about 300 kilos. So I thought, oh, this will be a good test for these stools. I keep leaning down, sorry. This will be a good test for these stools. So I basically put them out, and our illustrious forklift driver, he came along with this massive great bit of steel beam in one of the tines, which, you know, I would have done, but he said it was fine. As he went to set it down on the stools, unfortunately, he wasn't quite as gentle, and I'm going to show you what happened. Boom. So basically what happened was, as he put the steel down, he wasn't really gentle enough. So he put the full weight of the steel, the other end was still flicking up because he got his tine in it. He put the full weight of the steel at the same time as pulling, as he was driving backwards. Of course, what's happened is, and I'm not criticising these, I'll just say I'm not criticising these at all. They are, although that beam was 300 kilos, it took this perfectly. Even after they battered it like that, it still took the weight of that beam, no problem. And what I will say is, it's still, there was a massive point load on that, moving in completely the wrong direction structurally for it, and it didn't crumble, so it still held up. But the end result is, unfortunately, it's become a victim of poor machinery operation, I should say. But so yeah, so look, so basically it's I don't know if it's knackered, but I might be able to straighten it out, but that's obviously rendered useless. Now, I kind of got myself to blame because I'm confident that had I put the sacrificial strip on the top that I talked about, I don't think it would have done that. I don't think it would have allowed that point load and for it to sort of stress that steel the way it is. Anyway, that was that. Slightly irritating. Fortunately, the chap that I'm doing the job for, super duper fair, and he said he'll replace it. So straight on the internet, Toolstation, you can buy them singly from Toolstation at the time of this video for $59.95 each. Fortunately, Wickes still had their deal on, so I shot back up to Wickes and bought another pair for £69. So, you know, £9 extra for just one extra stool. So I'll show you them. They're brand new. I'll get them straight out of the box. So there you go, look. That's straight from Wickes. Fortunately, they were the last pair they had, so I think they only had 2 pairs in stock and I've had them both. So shall I get them out? I don't think there's any point really, is there? Look, so I've got another brand new pair in there. And obviously what I'm going to do before I do any more work with these stools is I'm going to put those sacrificial strips on top to hopefully prevent a future incident like the one we just had, and ban the forklift driver from going anywhere near them. So there you go, a short video. I don't know if it's short or not, I just waffle on, but a short video just to basically explain that I've now upgraded, come out from being a dinosaur, which my buddy always accused me of. I've upgraded. The beauties with these are, as you can see here, so you can see there, look, that they are quite a bit higher than my original stools, and I'm not 100% sure. I have been asked to do a video on how I've adapted my DeWalt miter saw stand as a really nice cutting station, so I might do a video on that. But basically what I'm going to do is work out what I'm going to put on the van to turn these into a bit more workspace. As I said earlier, I'm not going to put a big sheet of ply or anything on because it just takes up a lot of space in the van. Lewis, LTW Carpentry, I'm sure if you watch me, you watch him. He did a great little video on a sort of half-lapped ladder cutting station thing that just knocks down. So that's one option potentially, but again, I'm not. This is, to me, this is a metre, this is too wide for like to make a sort of cutting station like that. So I may well make up some sort of collapsible ladder, slightly smaller, that just sits on top of here for when I'm cutting panels. And it's nice and flexible then, but also what that will do is probably bring that up another 4 inches, because as I said, obviously these are a little bit too high. You couldn't really be, well maybe because I'm tall, but generally ripping stuff on these. And also just get my saw here. As I said earlier, most of what we do nowadays, certainly on site, is just, we just got, you know, machines, tools that we can just, and that's quite a nice height now. So fingers crossed, that should make my sort of working day a little bit less stressful on my back. Anyway, that's that's that. I'm really happy with these. They fold up fairly. Like I said, they're not the quickest to unfold, but they're nice and tight, and they are super strong as long as you don't do anything silly with a forklift with a 300 kilo piece of steel on it. So there you go. You'll see these more in my videos, and I'm hoping it should just make things sort of all round easier. So there you go. I hope you found the video interesting, and thanks for watching.